hot girl shit. Hey, bitch, I'm a problem, nobody solving. You can keep hating, I'm popping regardless. He wanna feel it like Megan Thee Stallion. Don't want your nigga cause I want his daddy.
What's going on, y'all? I am back finally with another vlog video. I do apologize for the inconsistency. It's just been a little difficult trying to film in real time as well as edit and then like put them out on a consistent basis. But I do have a plan and I'm working my plan. So if all goes well, then I'll be more consistent from here on out. But with that being said, this particular video is to tell you guys all about my experience being a panelist at the A&E Film Festival in Newark. For those of you who aren't familiar with film festivals are basically festivals at which independent films are screened, and mostly by independent filmmakers. And it gives them an opportunity or a platform for their work to be seen by an audience, and also to be picked up by networks and different streaming platforms that are looking for new content. So along with screening films, they also offer other things like classes and panel discussions. And I've been to film festivals, plenty of festivals before and plenty of panel discussions. And this was my first experience being a panelist on at a festival. And I must say it was a wonderful experience. And for those of you who weren't there, which the majority of you watching this weren't, but I do want to share with you guys just a few of the highlights from the panel discussions. So roll that beautiful mean footage.
It's amazing because it's like
I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. I've resided in New York City for the last 20 years. I've been an actor for 16 years. I can't even believe how fast it went by. In a previous life, I was in corporate medical sales, so I spent 10 years of my life, adult life, selling medical equipment. And I was exposed to acting in college, and I sort of gave up the dream, considering my background and from a large family, only boy to go to college, et cetera, et cetera. I'm one of 9 children, and so my mom and dad were like, "No, you're not gonna be an actor." And then I sort of caught the bug again in 2005 and met my mentor in 2006 and walked away from my corporate job to pursue an acting career for the last 16 years, like I said. So.
Wonderful, thank you, Mark.
My name is Ken Davis. Actually been an actor now since 2004. I pretty much started in the business. I came through after college. I worked for IBM for 10 years. And I actually promoted concerts with Will Smith, Dougie Fresh, and Biz Markie, and did that. And then I owned barbershops in Brooklyn, a restaurant, Brooklyn. I've actually taught school, and I pretty much act into acting. It's always something I wanted to do, but just, you never get that. Like acting is a thing that you don't really get people say, "I want to go do that." So I pretty much back into it. I started out on the Guiding Light soap opera back in 2005, and then just had a wonderful opportunity that led me in As the World Turns. And then the Guiding Light actually went off the air in 2009, came on at 10 o'clock in the morning, and so people weren't watching it. So.
Hi, my name is Shamari Harris. I am originally from Montgomery, Alabama. I started off in acting in undergrad. I went to Alabama State University for theater arts. And then once I finished there, I got accepted to a school here called the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts. And where I furthered my studies in specifically film acting. And I just kind of like been on it ever since. And some of my credits
since I've been here. I just recently was in Law and Order, the original one though, because you know it's like 10 different Law and Orders now. So it's the reboot, the one they rebooted. I was in that one, and I was also in Shades of Blue. I was in a HBO series called Show Me a Hero. I've done countless reenactment series. So you can see me at any time if you watch any of the shows on Discovery ID. So yeah, it's just been added ever since. So.
Wonderful, thank you.
My name's Jeff Kim. I think I started acting classes. I was just really more into like self-help development, mental stuff my whole life, and I found that like acting classes included all the stuff I wanted to work in, like at the same time in one class. And so I never really thought I'd be auditioning or I'd ever have the courage to like get up and perform in front of, you know, a room full of like critical, you know, casting directors or anything like that. But you know, I think acting, you kind of jump on and you have no idea where the path leads and you just stay on that path and things happen. Yeah, back when they had soap operas in New York, it was a great way for actors to get their first TV experiences. Unfortunately, you know, they just can't stay afloat anymore, so we don't have any more in New York. But yeah, I did a couple episodes on One Life to Live, and then got onto a couple New York-based TV shows like Blue Bloods.
I was wondering on set, what are some of the things that have been either the most nurturing or the qualities you most appreciated in your crew and directors and producers? What are some like real big highlights that you remember?
Well, I'll say this. I remember on Show Me a Hero. It was directed by Paul Haggis. Paul Haggis, he directed Crash.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was so dope. Like, as accomplished as he is, you know, you have some directors who are jerks. I mean, you know, they don't want to talk to you. You know, I think, you know, screw your questions. Like, you know, you should know you're an actor. You were hired. You should know what you're doing. You know, even if you are confused, like you can't ask him anything. But he was just so awesome. Like he was just like so open, and like even when we went like for lunch, like he ate with the rest of us. Like, you know, a lot of people, a lot of directors and stuff go to the trailer. They don't want nothing to do with y'all or nothing to do with the rest of us. But he came in there, ate with the rest of us, you know, talking. And there was a scene where we had some children. And he was like, just, you could tell like he was so experienced because even working with the children, he was like, hey, look at me, look, right here, all right, it's your moment, it's your time. And he was just like so really awesome, so wonderful to work with. And even during our scene, like he was just like, okay, well, hey, look, Mary, first of all, came up to me and introduced himself, shook my hand. He was like, so, okay, this is what's going on, this is what I want you to do. All right, you ready? You got it? I was like, all right, I got it. And it just made you more comfortable, because being on set, you can be nervous because it's a lot going on. And then when they call action, it's just like, even if it's 2 lines, it's like you'll for a second forget those 2 lines. Like, damn, what was I supposed to say? But you don't want to go blank, because it's just like, all right, all eyes are on you. And then you know they're on a time schedule, so they're trying to keep everything moving, and you don't want to be the one that's holding everybody up. So like, but you're just trying to be on point. But you know, working with people like that, like Paul Haggis, I work with a couple other people who can be, you know, they're very experienced, but they're just so down to earth and just so awesome to work with. Mark John Jeffries too, he's an awesome actor. If y'all don't know who he is, he was his son in Losing Isaiah. But he's all of them now. But he has an acting class that he does, and he's just so awesome, so cool, so down to earth to work with, and he gives some phenomenal advice. And yeah. So.
Now I've been working with another director on The Americans. I don't remember his name, and I flubbed my line, like, because I don't need to. I'm gonna piggyback off what you said. Walking and talking is hard on set sometimes as an actor, because nerves are just so high. You want to get it right, like you said. And I flubbed the lines like 3 times, and from a distance, he just yelled my lines at me. And I got it right, but I was just like, ew. You know, like, it's just like, and so I think it really comes down to when a director knows how to talk to an actor, you're gonna get the most out of the actor.
That's right.
Absolutely. That, absolutely.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, you filmmakers out there, you guys really have your work cut out for you because all actors are different and all actors need different things. And I think that, you know, most actors, you know, even including Richard Gere, needs a safe environment where, you know, he feels like, you know, he can take some chances and try some different things and feel comfortable with that. And I think most actors kind of need that. But for me, most of my TV stuff, like, the director barely talks to me, and kind of like, I guess like, you know, maybe in the, you know, maybe when after I was 3-4 years in, I was kind of like, yeah, man, I'm like nailing this because he doesn't even have anything negative to say about me, you know? And then so like I'm playing these like cocky games in my head, like, dude, I'm killing it. He's not saying anything, you know? And then, you know, and then a couple years go by and it keeps kind of happening, and you know, who knows? Like I think directing TV is a little different because there's so many technical things that a TV director has to worry about, like the lighting, the sound, all these things. So maybe they can't even focus on like necessarily the finer acting points. But then after a while, you're kind of like, you kind of want the director, because you can't see yourself on camera, and you kind of want the director to be like, hey, you have any other ideas, or you know, you think, you know, what do you think, you know? And it's a wonderful thing, I think, you know, when the actor feels safe, or you know, the director to give some ideas, like, well, you know, maybe the director, you know, maybe your character, as he's walking out the door, you know, flips a little look back at her before he walks out, and you're like, yes. And so sometimes the directors can give some great inspiration to us, you know, and you know, we just want to give the best performance we can, you know.
One is, it's a process trying to get representation. Like, that's not easy. People are like, oh, well, why don't you have an agent? Well, because one hasn't represented me. You know, maybe they have someone, if they say I have conflicts, that means they have clients already that look like you. And they can't submit, like, you know, multiple people for the same role, you know, because it's like it's a conflict of interest. So that's an issue. Then on top of that, once you do get an audition, you know, after so long, like, you know, it takes you a minute, like, to actually, I guess, get into the industry, like the casting directors, so they get familiar with you. And you can go into an audition, like, I know I killed that role. Like, I know I did. You can't tell me I didn't. And you still don't get it. And it's like, you start to ask yourself, well, what's wrong with me? What am I not doing? Like, I'm putting in the work. I went to school. Like, you know, I'm auditioning. I'm networking. Like, what am I not doing? You know, you start to ask yourself that, and it does start to affect you. But keeping a strong network of other actors around you helps a lot, because you don't feel like you're crazy, because you know you're not the only one. Also, talking to other actors, like, who have more experience, who've been in the business for a longer time, they'll tell you it's not personal. It's not personal at all.
On the outside, you know, people don't really know everything that you go through. And what I'm saying, you deal with the rejection. I mean, because that just comes with the business. A lot of times people, you know, like I remember when I started out, as I came off the Guiding Light, and then I did American Gangster. And I actually had a couple lines in American Gangster, but I played Denzel Washington's limousine driver. And I was in the film, and then I told everyone, go watch American Gangster. Go watch American Gangster. I mean, this was like one of my first, you know, and then when American Gangster came out, they literally cut every single part, you know, but that comes with the business. I mean, you do these films and you don't know if they will keep it quiet, you know. But
As your lines were cut out. The first big project I booked, it was a Jerry Seinfeld project. It was comedians in cars getting coffee. I was so freaking excited. And that was my first Taft-Hartley. Like, for y'all that don't know, so there's these vouchers that you have to get like before you join the Actors Union. And it's like every actor's like main goal, like you want to be a part of the union. And like, so that was my first voucher. It's called Taft-Hartley voucher. And it was my first one, and I was just like so excited. I was like, oh my God. And it was a small set. It was like very small. It was maybe like, I wanna say maybe like 6 of us all together. I was playing security guard for Crackle Security. And like Jerry Seinfeld, he comes in, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is so dope. And then, as a matter of fact, maybe like a week or so later, I saw an article written about it. Cause him and, what's his name? The guy who played Kramer, I can never remember his name. Michael Richards, yeah. They were, both of them, they were in a scene together, and it was a article written about them saying they're teaming up again, you know what I mean? But it's project, I was like, oh my God, I'm in that. And so I'm telling everybody, my mama, they mama, hey, yo, I'm gonna be the Jerry Seinfeld project. And then when it comes out, they cut us out all together. All together. I was like, wait a minute. And it's like nothing worse than when people see you and they're like, oh, so when's the episode coming out? Or you're like, oh, it's out already.
Yeah, so being a part of that panel was a wonderful, like I said, a wonderful experience. I hope you guys enjoyed that footage. I didn't want to make this video like, you know, long and drawn out, so I didn't add everything, but just a few things here and there. I'd like to give a shout out to Andrea Clinton for inviting me to be a part of the panel. I greatly appreciate it. I also want to send a shout out to Catch Cod streaming service. It's an independent streaming platform that showcases work from independent artists, such as myself, which is where you can catch my show, #ActorsLife. It's streaming on that platform also. So be sure to go and download the app. They have an app. It's called Catch Cod. And the COD is an acronym for content on demand. So it's short for Catch Content on Demand. Shout out to you all. And please, for all of you watching, go and support independent content, support independent creatives. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Please continue to support, like, and subscribe to my channel. Support independent content. Share this video if you care. And with that being said, I will leave you guys with this.
Have a friend, a circle of friends or people who are in the industry who can identify and relate with you. Because if it's just you singled out, like people who aren't in the industry don't understand and they won't get it. So like, you know, you will feel alone. But when you have friends who, hey listen, me and some of my friends, I actually got an idea for my talk show, Actors Life, because me and some of my friends, we met up at a Starbucks, and our intent was to put together like brainstorm some ideas so we could get like a show or something going. But what it ended up being was everybody just, it's like a therapy session, because everybody started pouring out like, you know, what we were going through, and what we discovered was we were all like going through pretty much the same thing. And it actually was like, you know, very, very therapeutic, because it's like, oh my God, it's not just me. You know, so it is uplifting. Going to like theater festivals and stuff like that and watching other films and stuff like that, like, I know for me that's uplifting, because it's like, all right, like yes, you know, it's content, it's creating content, creating your own work. Utilize social media. A lot of actors don't want to do that because they're looking at it through the wrong lens. If you are, you know you're talented, you have a phone, and all you do need to do is press record, learn a monologue or something, and get to work and put it out there. Because number one, you never know who's watching or who it'll come across. So many people have their careers started just by simply putting work on the internet. So don't think that there is just one avenue or one way to get there, because it's not. Use the resources that you have available to you, because you do have the resources available, and stay positive. Like I have positive affirmations that I go through like every day, and it helps a lot. So.